I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 97 of the Best Thing We've Seen podcast. My name is Flo.
And I'm Gabe. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay, man. How are you doing?
Same. You know, finally started to get back to learning for uni and, you know, finally catching up on some stuff that I've been ignoring for weeks now. And, you know, it's kind of feels good to get back to a routine, to learn some stuff, you know, to train the mind. But I feel like I have no fucking time for anything right now. How about you?
Yeah, same. I have something to do for uni till tomorrow evening, right now from the time we're recording this. You know, it's been stressing me out ever since I got the assignment, you know, but that's just, you know, procrastination at its finest, you know?
Yeah, dude, it's typical us, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Waiting till the last fucking second.
Absolutely. And yeah, under the weather again, you can hear it in my voice. You know, it's been whatever. But Happy New Year. Hey, Happy New Year. First episode we recorded in New Year, right?
Right.
So
Completely forgot about that.
Obviously had the special last week. Yeah, I mean, so many things to discuss. First of all, I want to mention that because I don't know if it's important or if anyone actually cares, but we mentioned your mic quality last week. We hoped it was back to 100%. I guess it's back to like 90%. It wasn't as good as we hoped.
Yeah, better, but not good.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's
not
just for
perfect.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it's still not quite what it was.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I played around with some settings which improved it, but it's still not great, and it's the same on two different computers. So the only thing that I could come up with is that it's kind of damaged in some way. I don't know what it is. Just bear with us for the next couple of episodes. Maybe we can fix it somehow, or I can. We'll see.
Yeah, I told Gabe this. I mean, his mic isn't at 100%, and my voice isn't at 100%, so it should match up evenly. You know, on the recording, it should come out beautifully.
The quality on this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, but that's it's a shame because I mean we've been like in terms of audio quality, I've always been proud of our production quality.
Yeah,
and I still am. I mean it's you know, these microphones. I mean we don't have the most expensive equipment. I'm happy that it's been, you know, it worked for as long as it has, but apparently yours is caving in now a little bit.
Well, under heavy use.
Are you using it for anything else other than podcasting?
I used it as my regular microphone for a while because my headset was damaged. But the only thing that I can think of, because I do move between two apartments quite a bit, because I'm dead rich, that's right. And maybe it got damaged while transporting it. It's the only thing I can come up with because I don't remember it dropping into the ground too many times.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Not too many times.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I've actually used the mic as well for gaming, and also like in the early quarantine days of like Zoom and Skype calls. It was always hilarious because the sound quality is so much better than just Apple earphones or whatever, like the headphones. What's the word for the white? Is it headphones?
Pod, something like that.
Earphones? I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah, the standard ones. Yeah, it was hilarious when I didn't want to use it because it was so much like it felt like showing off when it wasn't my intention.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. When I used to chat with a friend, he could barely understand me at times because my headset mic was so shit. And then I finally came back with a crystal clear voice. Felt quite good, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Worth the $80 or whatever.
Absolutely,
this cost.
Yeah.
Right.
So obviously we had a special last week. Anything to say about that? I don't know.
Don't think so.
It's a good. I enjoyed it. I'm happy with the lists. We've had a great comment under our YouTube video.
Did we?
Leon's list. I thought it had some likes. I thought you might have been one of them. No, Leon posted his list of the year.
Oh, nice. Gotta check it out though. I usually always check the videos and always see if somebody comments. But not this time.
Yeah.
Not this
time. It was a good list.
Nice.
It bothered me because I mentioned that I excluded I Know This Much Is True, if you remember, because it wasn't a 2021 release. And I like the day after, I felt like I should have included it because these things, like, they come out here, right? Maybe it came out in 2020, but you had to have like a Sky subscription for it or whatever.
When did it come out?
I think it was like in May of 2020 with Sky Go ticket or whatever.
Right.
And then it was released on Amazon for like $15, right? So if you actually wait for it to be released here for like $5 or whatever, it was 2021. But that's the thing with so many releases. So many things don't make it over here. Then they come out on Blu-ray. Then if you don't want to spend $20 on the Blu-ray when it first comes out, you wait like half a year.
Regularly check every fucking release when it comes out. There's no fucking time or money for that shit.
Yeah.
To order it also like from the UK if you have to.
Yeah.
It's like crazy. Dude, there's so many things that I want to order though. There's so many good Blu-ray releases that I want to get my hands on.
Yeah. Care to share? Which ones? Like, I'm guessing Dune?
Yeah, but I'm not that hot for Dune right now because I might wait for the second one to release and then maybe get a box set or something.
Sure.
Like the Green Knight, but we talked about doing our... Dude, we're 10 minutes and we haven't even talked about the movie, but...
No, we're good. 6 minutes 45.
We talked about doing our best of the year list, talking about not maybe the best thing that we've seen, or sorry, the special before that, but about like the best not new releases, you know, what we've seen in the meantime, what we saw in our private time, something that we may not have talked about, you know?
Right. You're giving away state secrets here. I mean, yeah, we have to talk about this. Yeah, no, it's all good.
What we didn't do, which, you know, we won't do at least for 2021. So I can talk to you about my favorite thing that I saw last year, which was this turning into a whole new episode.
Great.
I know.
I love it.
Which was Perfect Blue. And I really want to get my hands on the Blu-ray because it's also like beautiful, that cover.
Perfect Blue.
Yeah, which is an anime from, I think, 1990, maybe even the 80s.
97. I'm Googling it while you say, yeah.
Okay. But it played in the film casino and I walked by just by accident and saw it was playing the next day at like, I don't know, 1 p.m. I was like, let's check it out. I was blown away. Jesus Christ, was that movie good and so disturbing. One of the most disturbing things that I've seen in a long while. There's a lot of sexual violence in this. It's hard to watch, but it's an amazing movie and I really want to get my hands on that Blu-ray.
Fascinating. I love that I'm getting like a special episode from you right now.
You're so welcome. It's like the best thing that I saw last year.
That you hadn't seen before that wasn't the 2021 release, right? Yeah. It's a handful, that topic, yeah. I'd have to struggle now to come up with mine. I haven't seen Perfect Blue. It sounds interesting.
Amazing.
Yeah. It sounds
I was meant to watch it. It's about like a J-pop star, turning actress and dealing with stalkers and like having to do what her manager wants her to do and not what she wants to do, and getting sucked into that and suffering from mental illness after a time, not knowing what is real and what is not. It's a very tough watch, but it's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the best thing I saw last year that wasn't a 2021 release was I Know This Much Is True. Because it came out in 2020. It came out in 2020.
Right.
Anyway, do you want to really answer really quick? Fuck,
yeah, sure.
I'm looking through it really quickly. What would be the best thing? I haven't. Man, my God.
And I also got to say, sorry, The Tale of Princess Kaguya. But we said we might, if we talk about this list, we're going to talk about something that we haven't mentioned on the podcast. And I think I talked about Princess Kaguya at some point. But that movie's also like pure fucking gold.
Yeah, I'm looking through my letterbox right now, and it's difficult because we've talked about almost everything.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm gonna say now, for posterity's sake, because that's not English, but because I want to say something right now, it would be either Cool Hand Luke or the China Syndrome. So
what's the China Syndrome again?
That's from '79. Starring Jack Lemmon and Jane Fonda and Michael Douglas. It's a really fascinating, like old school, like 70s, like thriller. Right.
Yeah. The title seems familiar.
Yeah. It involves like a nuclear plant. There was an accident there, and the coverage about it all, and it's fascinating. Really well acted, and just a movie that's not made like this anymore. Unfortunately, it really blew me away. That was really, really good.
dude, those are two movies, especially like Cool Hand Luke. I've been meaning to check out for a while. There's so many Western classics that I'm missing, like that, and Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
Really got to check out at some point.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, and I'm still watching that show that I've teased for like a year.
Dude, I want to know the answer for this.
Because, the reason why we thought about that topic too was to maybe include that. I still haven't finished it. I don't know if I ever will.
Dude,
I am actively watching it though, so...
All right.
Yeah.
Can I mention it on the next special, maybe?
Maybe. All right. Let's talk about the best thing we've seen this week, though.
Yes.
So a lot of things to discuss because I mentioned this last week. I saw a lot of things in preparation for the special we did last week. We haven't talked about all of those things because they weren't in contention for it after all. We saw something together. So it's going to be an interesting episode. Why don't you tell everyone how the show works and then let's dive into this.
Yes, welcome back to another regular episode, which usually starts out different than this. Who we talk about the best thing that we've seen all week, anything new, anything that released in the last couple of months or so. Here we might talk about a couple of things that we talked on our last special or just mentioned them, since we saw some things in that time frame. I haven't gotten around to seeing anything else, to be honest. And yeah, we're going to start off with a couple of honorable mentions. We're going to talk about anything from a TV show to a movie to maybe even a YouTube video. And yeah, then work our way to the best thing that we've seen all week. I don't know who starts this week.
I'm looking
as always.
It up. I was hoping to be done while during your.
I love it that we so rarely get to check first, but yeah.
So the last one, 95, social swaps and backstage bickering. So you started that one. So I'm going to start this one.
Yes.
And I don't know what your pick is going to be. I have no idea. I am very, very happy with my pick because I'm going to go for something that's it's going to be a throwback. I'll talk about it once I get to the pick.
Okay.
But I have seen many, many things that came out towards the end of 2021 in Austria. I wanted to watch them for the special, as I said before. I've mentioned some of them last week, including like the Tragedy of Macbeth,
right?
The new film from Joel Cohen. I think I've said enough about that. Titan I also saw not too long ago. I've talked about that on the special too. I'm just gonna mention a few things that I saw and just really, really quickly go through them. Sure. I saw Steven Spielberg's West Side Story.
Yeah, have you seen the old one before you saw the remake or reiteration?
No, I hadn't seen it before. Have you seen the original?
I haven't, which is why I'm quite hesitant about watching the new one. I know it's not as well, I guess it's a spoiler because it's the same story over again, but I would prefer watching the old one first because I heard it's such a classic.
Well, it's a remake. So I mean,
right. I think it's a Broadway musical.
Sure.
Right.
And it's based on Romeo and Juliet. So I don't know how much you don't know already.
Well, now I know everything, I think.
No, but that's
no. Sure.
It's I'm ignorant about all these things, you know that. Sure. But I don't know. I think it's based on it, right? You didn't know this?
I knew it's like two lovers in a city and there's like two gangs dancing at each other, but it makes sense now that you say it.
Yeah, I'm Googling it. It is widely known that West Side Story is based directly on Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Okay. Far less well known is the fact that Shakespeare based his play on other material.
Sorry, I thought he based it on another musical by... What's his name? Sondheim?
Leonard Bernstein?
Oh, didn't Sondheim do West Side Story?
I think it was Leonard Bernstein. Oh, it wasn't it? Oh, I think... Oh, gosh.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, gosh. You might be right. You might be right. That's a bad one. I think the songs are from... Yeah, okay. Music is Leonard Bernstein and lyrics are Stephen Sondheim.
Okay. Who remembers the music?
Well, no, but okay. But I hadn't seen the original. I saw the new one because I heard everything. All I heard was Steven Spielberg is back. Steven Spielberg is back. Now, as someone who thoroughly loves Ready Player One, really enjoyed The Post, I didn't think he was ever gone. So, apparently he's back. Now, I get it because it is a film that invokes his older films. It's got that Spielbergian flair to it. It's a love letter to the play and to the original film because I think Spielberg and his father I think if I remember correctly, He's got a connection there, and you can see that it's a really well directed film. But in terms of the story, it's, in my opinion, really bad.
Oh, okay.
And it feels weird to bash the new interpretation for the source material.
Sure.
But dude, I was just at a couple of pivotal scenes and character decisions and character actions. I was just like, why would you do this now? What is going on? And if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it. But
it might work better as a over-the-top musical.
Yeah, and the musical numbers
is what I
yeah.
would imagine, but I don't know which scenes you're talking about. So
yeah, the musical numbers are good. The actors are good. There's some buzz around them and the film itself, of course, as well. Ansel Elgort is the male lead.
Right.
I was never a fan of his. I'm sorry. Rachel Ziegler, I think, plays the female lead. She's really, really good.
No idea.
But even Ansel Elgort, he's good. He's good for the role, and he's good in it too. But yeah, the story really didn't work for me at all. And this film, it's hyped beyond belief. Everyone loves it. West Side Story, so good, so good. For this, the film it's a well-made film, but the story didn't really. I was perplexed by it more than anything. Then I saw CODA, which is an Apple Plus release. Have you heard of that?
It sounds familiar, but it might be because we thought about naming the dog CODA. So.
Yeah, this came out many months ago, and it is a remake of a French film that I had seen in school. So I understand why everyone loves this too, but for me it wasn't as great because I had seen the original and I knew what was going to happen. It's a story about like a family that's deaf. It's deaf, right? That's the right pronunciation?
Yeah.
Deaf?
CODA, yeah. Child of deaf adults. Oh.
Yes, child of deaf adults. Yes. And everyone's deaf except the daughter, and she wants to be a singer, but works for like her father's fishing rig, and it's really out of her. She has to stay there and interpret for the family and help them, but she really wants to be a singer, and the music teacher at her school really believes in her, and I think you can make up the rest of the story. It's a good film. It's a really good film, and I would actually argue it is a better film than the original, but still,
wow.
The original wasn't very well beloved.
Okay. I mean, the ratings are crazy good.
For CODA?
Yeah, for the new one.
Yeah. It is really, really good. The main actress is really good.
Dude, I love you saying, dude, you really enjoyed it, which just makes me more interested in which is going to end up being your pick.
Well, these are all...
say this is good.
Yeah, these are all things I just want to throw them not away, but out there,
Sure.
This is... I don't even know if this came out within the 6-month thing that we usually do.
It is a 2021 release.
Right.
August. Yeah. You're good.
Yeah. No, I found something this or last week that I thoroughly enjoyed and that I want to pitch to everyone as well. So CODA is really, really good though. The entire cast is spectacular. Really, really well acted in it. It's a nice film. And if you haven't seen the original, check out CODA. But yeah, it was really good. Then I saw Shiva Baby. Now that's a film for you. You would love Baby. Shiva Baby.
It reminds me of Cry Baby, just right out the gate from the title. Maybe because we just talked about the musical.
Maybe.
What's Shiver Baby?
Shiva, like
shivering.
No. I think it's me being ignorant again. I think it's the word for a Jewish. What's the word? Like after a funeral, you hold a shiva.
Ah, okay. I thought like shivering.
No.
When you're cold or scared.
Right.
Interesting. How do you write Shiva?
SHIVA.
There we go, Shiva Baby.
Yeah. Now that's also like a 2020 release, but it's 2021 over here, so you could count it there. I didn't even mention it in my honorables. Maybe I should have in the special last week. It's a really, really tense film, which was surprising to me because I think it's listed as a comedy, drama, whatever.
Right? Yeah.
But it's about obviously a young student at this at this Shiva. And she meets, it says she meets her sugar daddy, right? In the IMDb synopsis.
Right, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Beautiful synopsis.
Throughout the entire film. Right, so she meets him there and they obviously no one knows their relationship, so it's about sort of hiding that. But throughout the whole film, I was like, because I read that synopsis beforehand, and in the film, it feels more like that he's a client of hers because she is a prostitute. And no one knows that. But apparently he's her sugar daddy. Whatever. The more times I say it, the weirder I feel.
You should.
Yeah. I think I think I'm reading the German synopsis. I think it said her pimp in the original on the English. Are you reading the English IMDb synopsis?
Yes, I think.
Does it say pimp?
It does say sugar daddy.
Oh, it does say sugar daddy? Okay.
Let me look it up again. At a Jewish funeral service with her parents, a college student runs into her sugar daddy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's about that. And it's really a lot tenser than most thrillers. It's like an hour 17, really short film. But at the end, I was really like happy to exhale because it felt like throughout those whole like 77 minutes, I was like, I wasn't breathing because it was so tense of who's going to figure out what's going to happen. And so much shit happens to the main actress in the film. It's really good. It's really good. And you would thoroughly enjoy this. It's on Amazon. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I just looked it up. $10 to buy, not to rent.
It was definitely $5 a week ago. Yeah. It was definitely $5 a week ago.
It's included in some channel, which, I could subscribe to for a week and then quit because...
Yeah, the movie channel.
The movie channel?
Movie.
A movie, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a film for you. And I think that's my last honorable for this week because the other one, I don't know if that's... No, that's not your pick. Let's talk about House of Gucci.
Yes.
I know that's not your pick because... we talked about it before. It might be something else. What did you think of House of Gucci? I've said enough for the last few minutes.
Well, House of Gucci, I thought it was better than expected because I heard the opinions were quite quite split as far as I heard. But it was all right. I heard that it was different than most people expected, and it was different for me as well. I thought it was more about the Gucci's who made the brand into what it is. Into the fashion brand, the beginnings of the fashion brand, but it's more of a part of the family and how they revamped it, and about how Adam Driver's character, something M Gucci, what's his name?
Was it Maurizio?
Maurizio, oh beautiful.
Was it really
Gucci? I think so. Meets Lady Gaga's character.
Patrizia
Reggiano.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. I always had the thought of Parmesan.
We love the Parmesan.
Reggiano.
Yeah.
And the acting is all right. It's quite over the top at some point. What is interesting about the movie, it is set in Italy for most of it. Also in other countries, of course, as well. But all the actors have an Italian accent, which is funny because none of them are Italian, and some of them drop the accent on occasion, like Jeremy Irons' character does.
That's my favorite thing about the whole film.
Which is so weird.
It's hilarious, dude.
He just starts off with this very thick Italian accent that just goes over to British when he starts kind of to yell.
Yeah. We saw this together. Sorry.
Yes.
There were like multiple scenes where I wanted to lean over to you and point out that he just completely lost his accent, and you told me afterwards. I didn't want to disturb you, but you told me afterwards that you had the same thoughts. It's great. Yeah.
But what is, I think, most surprising about this movie is Jared Leto, which is such an over-the-top character playing the cousin of Adam Driver, the fuck-up of the family, from look-wise, quite unrecognizable role for me.
Yeah, and it was real, by the way.
It wasn't
makeup. Yeah, it was real.
The poor dude, Jesus Christ. Because he gained quite a bit of weight, apparently, and he's due to star in the next Marvel movie, the vampire whatever thing. Which,
Morbius? What's it
Something. Called? Yeah, who cares?
Morbius. I care.
Okay, sorry.
I think it was a combination of he gained the weight, but still a lot of makeup, I think, to make
because he's quite slim there. Yes. And I mean, he has done this before, and I think I read somewhere that he kind of hated the experience, but he still kind of does it anyway. And I thought he wouldn't do it again because he had a hard time the last time he gained so much weight. But I guess method acting, which is it acting if you live it?
Yeah, I think it is.
But anyway,
dedicated guy.
Sure, yeah, good for him, I suppose. Just too bad if he wasted on roles like the Joker.
Oh, come on now, let's not bash that one now. But
no, it's an old one. But I thought it was all right. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. How about you?
Same. I actually thought it was more. I thought it was more enjoyable than I anticipated. But I wouldn't. It wasn't anywhere near my favorites of the year. I thought The Last Duel was a much better film if we were comparing Ridley Scott's films of 2021.
I agree. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like 2.5 hours of people barely putting on an accent, telling a story that was it that interesting? I mean,
it's a world that I'm not that interested in, to be honest. I mean, the ending, I was like, oh, okay, interesting that is how it developed, and that is what Gucci is today, and a cameo of a character that we know from somewhere else. But
we can definitely say this.
Sure.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Ford makes an appearance, the designer and now director of great movies such as Nocturnal Animals. Makes an appearance, like somebody plays him because he worked for Gucci when he started out, which is, cool, but
it's a shame that it wasn't Tom Ford. Obviously, he couldn't play him as a younger self.
Sure, but, it's like in the 80s.
Yeah. But I think I've said this on the podcast before. The dude has one of the best voices in the business, Tom Ford. So it took me. I didn't quite, because he was introduced as like this guy from Texas who, and I know all of this because I watched every Tom Ford interview when Nocturnal Animals came out.
Yeah.
But it still didn't click when I watched House of Gucci that was supposed to be Tom Ford. Not until they mentioned it, and then I was like, oh, that's a shame that they didn't cast someone who like had a similar voice, which I know is asking a lot. But yeah, it's a fine. It's a fine film, and I actually enjoyed Adam Driver's and Lady Gaga's performance. I think she's really, really good, and we know that he's good. I think she actually proved that she wasn't a one-off.
No,
I was she did other stuff before, but yeah.
Looking forward to this movie mostly because of her. Because the story wasn't that interesting to me, but I enjoyed her so much in A Star Is Born that I just want to see her again in something, and I wasn't interested in watching whatever season of American Horror Story.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, dude, Star Is Born, that's a film it's still on my mind. I'm so impressed by that film.
Yeah.
It's unreal what Cooper did there. It's really phenomenal. Right. So, is it just our picks left, or do you have anything else?
I have one more. I just have to decide which of those is going to be my pick. And I think, I hate myself. I'm just gonna put The Power of the Dog is going to be one more honorable mention of mine. We talked about this before, so there's not much else to talk about, because you mentioned it that you watched it the Biennale Film Festival.
Right.
And we mentioned this as an honorable mention on our best of the year list. And it is a good movie. It looks good, and I thought the performances were just really great. You talked about Benedict Cumberbatch being this intimidating like leader on a farm, with Jesse Plemons kind of being in his shadow and trying to do his own thing, getting out of this life and just being happy with his wife.
With his real life wife, by the way.
With his real life wife, yeah. And she being voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch. I thought she was great in this, and Benedict Cumberbatch, he just does a good accent. Even though he's British, I mean, he's done it so many times before. He does it in so many big roles. I mean, Doctor Strange, I suppose, as well, but he's got a very thick accent, which could sound ridiculous.
I agree, and I actually think he didn't pull it off every single, like in terms of like other films, like in Black Mass and in Doctor Strange, it still feels like a put-on accent to me. And in Power of the Dog, I completely bought it.
I mean, I thought it was maybe his best, because at times in The Mauritanian, I thought it was well done, but it didn't like fit him as well.
Right, I know what you mean. Yes,
a very thick Southern accent, but he just plays with his deep voice way more, and like when he's being like this very strict guy, and I think it suits him way more because he's got an amazing voice. Also, he does voice work. For example, The Hobbit, he did the dragon, and he sounded amazing there. Smaug, yeah.
The Mauritanian, by the way, we haven't mentioned that at all. That was a viable 2021 pick. I mean, obviously, no one.
We talked about it, didn't we?
I'm saying on the special last week.
Right. Yeah, I forgot about it, to be honest. It was an honorable mention, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, it was a good movie, but it wasn't going to make my list.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, I was surprised by how good it was. I wasn't a huge fan of the ending, though, to be honest.
Did you see it coming?
No. I should have, I suppose. But no, I didn't. Did you?
I didn't. And it took me, it's been episode 97. I think I've proclaimed my stupidity multiple times on this show. It actually wasn't until the discussion afterwards where I realized that what happened was intentional.
Right. I mean, yeah,
I thought it was an accident.
He goes to that cow.
No, I know.
In the desert. Yeah.
I'm completely aware of that, but I still thought it was. Maybe I didn't think it was an accident, but it didn't hit me until afterwards of how planned out it all was.
Mm.
And retrospectively, and looking at it, it's, how could I not know that? It's very, very stupid. But it worked for me, the ending. I had a discussion with a friend of mine afterwards, and that really made the film better for me as well. And I love the score. I think it's a Johnny Greenwood score.
It does sound good, yeah.
Is it a Johnny Green? It's one of the Radiohead guys. I think it's got to be Johnny Greenwood. A beautiful theme, for like the main theme I loved. And it's a film that really is growing on me the more I think about it. I think it's Cumberbatch's best performance. I said that. And I think it's a really, really good film.
I was kind of glad to see Kirsten Dunst in something else because I haven't seen her since season 2 of Fargo, or it's nothing that I could remember at least.
Yeah, also with her husband, Jesse Plemons.
Yeah, I think it might be where they got together.
I think so, yes.
And she's great. I do like her.
Yeah. It's a shame that she wasn't in No Way Home. They were, I've read a lot of things about it now, and there were like talks of like bringing like Emma Stone back and...
Spoiler.
And no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You saying that is more of a spoiler than anything I just said.
You just mentioned they're not in there. Maybe somebody...
Oh, it's a spoiler that they're not in there?
I don't know. Everything is a spoiler.
Yeah.
I won't even touch those movies anymore.
Tony Stark is also not in No Way Home.
Okay, let's just fucking cut this whole episode.
No, but they had so many, like, I've read now that they reshot like certain things of Doctor Strange 2, like adding more cameos to it because they realized how popular they were in No Way Home. Like, no shit, they were going to be popular. I just hope they're not going to oversaturate that now with like, it worked in No Way Home, but it doesn't need to be in every film now, right? We don't need to see that in every film. But Kirsten Dunst, did you like her as MJ in the original ones? I
did. I mean, I haven't seen her. I haven't seen those movies in quite some time, but I remember really liking them.
Yeah, me too.
Like an early crush of mine when I was very young.
Was it huge? I was never that attracted to her.
Yeah,
really.
I was a huge Spider-Man fan when I was young, and he's still one of my favorite heroes of the MCU. But yeah.
I recently rewatched The Amazing Spider-Man. Because I hadn't seen that since the theaters, and I just prefer Emma Stone. I think she's my favorite, like, love interest of all the Spider-Man films.
I think she's my least favorite.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Garfield is also one of my favorite. I mean, one of my, that's not ranked these again.
I think he's fine. I wasn't a huge fan of the stories, but
yeah, I actually think the first one is really good. Rewatching it, I think it's a really good film. I don't get the hate.
I think I wasn't a huge fan of Emma Stone just because I had seen her in so many other things first. I saw Amazing Spider-Man quite late that it just seemed weird to have her in there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay. I really thoroughly enjoy that film.
Sure.
Right. So that's Power of the Dog. That's obviously also out on Netflix now.
Check it out.
Check it out. That's really, really good. So we just have our picks left, right?
Yes, please blow me away.
I saw something on YouTube, like it was recommended to me because of all the other similar things that I saw, and it's gonna make a lot of sense to you.
Back to YouTube.
Yeah. So no trailer this week. I think still the thing, like, one of the things that I recommended early on in the podcast was Taskmaster. And it's still one of the things that a lot of people, that it's probably the thing that most people sort of tell me about, or like they went like, hey, thanks for telling me about Taskmaster. I really love it. And I want to sort of now give you a part 2. I want to give you a similar thing now, which I stumbled upon recently. It's very, very new. Unfortunately, there's no like official YouTube page for this. But every episode is still on YouTube.
Okay.
I hope it's still going to be out there like by the time this episode drops. But there's a new British game show called I Literally Just Told You.
Okay.
It's hosted by Jimmy Carr.
Okay.
So,
once again.
I mean,
He's got so
Taskmaster
many
isn't...
shows.
he's all over the place.
And I mean, like at 8 out of 10 cats
Right,
and stuff like that.
Right. And he's also got a new Netflix special out now. But he's hosting I Literally Just Told You, or as it is in the British version, I Literally Just Told You. And I want to give you the pitch of this show because I think it's quite genius. Like, there's only been like 4 episodes out so far. One of those 4 episodes was actually a celebrity special with Alex Horn as one of the contestants.
Right.
So the Taskmaster Junior himself, even though he's actually the mastermind behind the whole thing. But so here's the concept. Jimmy Carr hosts it, and there's 4 contestants every week. And every question, not every question, but many questions that are asked throughout the show are about what has already happened during that very same show. So the questions are being written during the show. They have 2 writers that are on screen, and you can see that they're typing questions as the show goes along, right? So the show starts off, you have 4 contestants, and they give you like a quick bio of every contestant. Like, this guy is called Eddie. I already forgot all the guys' names. But Eddie, he's 37 and he does that and that for a living, right? And they go through all the 4 contestants. That Jimmy Kimmel. Maybe in a few years when they remake it. Jimmy Carr, he goes like, the concept of the show, I literally just told you, blah, blah, blah. It's where we ask you questions about what just happened. And we already did. And then like dramatic lighting and it all goes dark. And then the first question is to the first contestant, like, I don't know, one thing about the bio, right? So where did so-and-so grow up? So something they were literally told a couple of seconds ago. But the mindfuck about it all is you have to sort of try and remember everything because you don't know what they're going to ask you. I think that's a genius concept because you can play along, obviously, at home. And there's some general knowledge questions in there as well, like some moneymaker rounds where you just have to like answer questions regularly. But then there's also like basically, I literally just told you rounds where they ask you questions of anything that happened throughout the entire show. Now, throughout the show, they throw in things that like overtly to like throw you off. Like some random woman walks across the screen and you're like, that would be too obvious to remember that, right? But then maybe they ask you like, what color coat was she wearing or whatever. It's really, really good and fun and entertaining. And because of all of these things that I've mentioned before, those weren't really things I saw this week. Those were things that I sort of crammed in for the special. I wanted to just really pick that as my pick this week because it deserves recognition. If you like Taskmaster and that sort of the British humor, you would enjoy this too. And it's very, very new, so I felt like it was appropriate to choose it as my pick.
Nice. I love it because, like you mentioned, Taskmaster is the thing that you've been told is the most influential pick you might have had so far. And it has been for me as well. I've started watching the show. I loved it. I still watch it whenever something new comes out. And you also told me about like 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown and other stuff. Yeah. Which, does sound similar. Just because it's Jimmy Carr asking stupid questions. And I got to check that out. Probably will today. It's like one of those things when I procrastinate on YouTube. Yeah. Taskmaster is fucking deadly when you do that because I watched the whole episode.
I know. The great thing is there's only 4 episodes so far, so you can't go into too much of a hole.
Okay. So I just watched 4 episodes.
Right. It's great because I think it was the second episode is already like... They already like post like separate clips of it on the official Channel 4 YouTube channel because the second episode, it features the worst contestants possible. They can't remember the simplest thing, right?
So they dumb it. Whatever.
No, it's regular people. It's just one episode that was a celebrity special.
Oh, okay.
Just episode 3 was with Alex Horn and with Aisling B.
Oh, okay.
And the other... doesn't really matter, right? It's other two a lot of familiar faces if you watch all of these British shows, definitely. But the second one, it was great because they literally couldn't remember anything. They couldn't remember anything, and they actually like had to dumb down the questions to make it work. And the fourth one features one of the most likable dudes in the history of game shows. I think it's Eddie. I think it was Eddie. A really really amazing human being from what you can gather through a television screen. Like a really likable and fun dude as a contestant. Just a nobody, but he won.
Just a nobody.
No, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Sure. We're nobodies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes.
Absolutely. Was it Eddie?
It was likable, but not most memorable, dude.
Yeah. Let's see if it was Eddie. It was Eddie.
Nice.
It was Eddie. Anyway, obviously no trailer. Obviously no trailer for this because they don't even have like an official YouTube channel yet. But it is really worth checking out. It is called "I Literally Just Told You," and they keep mentioning that phrase on the show too. It's a bit too much at times because they like. At times they do it like winking at the camera, but at times it's literally like seriously at like, hey, now it's time for a commercial break. How do you know that? And then the contestant has to go, because you literally just told me. It's just like, we get it. Thank you, we get it. Okay. We can move along.
Shut up.
What's your pick of the week?
My pick of the week is something that we talked about as well recently. It is the new Disney film Encanto.
Oh, that's a cheat, isn't it? Isn't that a cheat?
Is it a cheat?
I don't know if it's not a cheat. I don't know why I said that. That came out of nowhere to me. I thought we talked about that, didn't we, on the special?
Did we? I wasn't sure. To be honest, I have a memory like a fucking goldfish, which was why this game show would be my nightmare. So it was like between that and Power of the Dog. And I thought that we talked about both, kinda, and I haven't seen anything since I've been busy doing whatever.
Right.
So I'm just going to take it.
I'm very surprised you enjoyed that more than Power of the Dog.
I am as well. It's so hard because I have a shit memory. I don't remember the whole movie. I just remember thinking about certain scenes, and I do that more with Encanto. I've been listening to some of the songs, which I didn't think I would. I think why it is my pick is simply because it was more of a surprise.
Okay.
I said this before, maybe even on a special, that I was just not really in the mood for this movie, just from the setting. I thought it was going to be quite boring. Just another family drama. I was looking for more of an original idea again. Like,
okay.
Toy Story or whatever, or Nemo, like, not just human beings. It just feels like they're just showing off their animation prowess.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, but human beings, I mean, that's a bit vague.
Sure, but, they've done some cool stuff, like with Coco, and, is Encanto Pixar? I don't think it is. I think it's just Disney.
Isn't it Pixar?
Is it Pixar? Maybe. I think it's just Disney, though. Don't want to say anything wrong.
Yeah, you might be right.
But, just something else. I do say I do like Disney princess movies. I think I do overemphasize that for comedic effect. I don't think you do. But yeah, so I didn't really see this even as a Disney princess movie, but apparently it is.
Well, yeah.
Is she a princess?
Give us the plot. Tell everyone what this is about.
It is. I think it's set in Colombia. It is a family that has fled from somewhere, at least the matriarch of the family has, but it was saved by a magic candle, which has given every subsequent family member that was born some kind of magic power and has protected them in a moving, living house. Well, moving. It is stationary, but, it moves from the inside. And you got different family members having different powers, everybody serving the community, except for one, played by Stephanie Beatrix, which she might be most best known for her role in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but she was also in The Heights quite recently.
Yeah, was it Rosa? Rosa?
Maybe? I think she's Rosa in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Right, yeah. And I gotta say, I guess I should have expected that she could sing just from In the Heights, but she has a bit of a smaller role there, and she has this very high-pitched voice there, as far as I remember. But here, she did an amazing job, because she plays the one, like I said, without magic powers, the only one feeling kind of left out, trying to, act as if she isn't as bothered by it as she is, but also being kind of excluded from most family things now. Like from her mom, from her grandmother, who says, it's fine, but, give the other people more spotlight,
Not really.
Yeah.
Right. And with music from our guy.
Lin-Manuel Miranda. And I didn't know that. And I heard the songs. Well, this sounds good. This kind of reminds me of Moana's songs,
Yeah.
And then the credits rolled, and then made a whole lot more sense then. And I love it. It's more of what I like instead of like In the Heights was fine. Tick Tick Boom Boom was Tick Tick Boom was
Boom,
fine.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't what I really liked about his style. And this was, I think it worked quite well. I thought, yeah, it went by quite fast. But the only thing that bothered me was the ending, which was too sudden.
Yeah, let's play a little clip, my friend, before we dive into
play
this.
a little clip because I'm all over the place. Here's a little clip of Encanto, the new Disney Plus release.
Many years ago, this candle blessed our family with a miracle. Our house, our casita, came to life with magic.
La casita.
Floors! Drawers! Let's go! In time, every member of our family
Cecilia, up top!
was given their own magical gifts.
I understand you.
I'm not super strong like Luisa.
The donkey's got out again.
On it! Or effortlessly perfect like Señorita Perfecta Isabella. But Mama, why am I the only one that didn't get a gift?
You're just as special as anyone else in this family.
You just healed my hand with an arepa con queso.
Casita?
What's going on?
The magic is in danger. We gotta get out of here!
We must protect our home. We must protect our family.
This is my chance. I will save the magic. Wait, how do I save the magic?
Here we are.
Here we are. Who
Now
would
you
have
have the
thought?
plot and the trailer. You know everything about this movie.
Oh, you left me hanging. I thought the Hot Ones reference would get you there. Okay.
I'm sorry, which one?
Oh, it's all good. It's too
Completely
late.
missed it.
Too late. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
too late, dude. I'm so besides myself right now.
Are you refreshed?
I suddenly feel how tired I am. I feel exhausted.
Yeah.
Keep getting woken up by the dog. I
Are you
love her,
still
but-
falling asleep right now?
No.
Okay.
The second you said it, I just realized that I had my eyes closed.
For the last 47 minutes.
All right, sorry, Encanto. Yeah, it is. It was just fun. It looks good. It's very colorful, and like I said, Power of the Dog might be the more impressive movie just from an acting standpoint, a filmmaking standpoint in some respects. But it was just fun, and it just took me by surprise. And I do keep thinking about some of the scenes and some of the wacky powers and songs. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I also didn't know that it was Lin-Manuel until the first song came on.
Right.
And I was looking it up then because I was
Right.
like, that's got to be Lin again. And I had heard it before, but I had forgotten about it. The other thing, for me, it was set in stone that Salma Hayek voiced Abuela, but I'm looking at through the cast right now, and she's not involved in this project at all.
Oh.
Didn't you think that too?
Abuela.
Yeah.
The grandmother. No.
It's
I don't
Maria
think-
Cecilia Botero.
Of course. How could you confuse the two?
No, but I want to go back and listen to it again. I was sure it was Salma Hayek, but it wasn't.
I can't
So
remember
many.
the voice clear enough right now.
Yeah.
But it has what's his name? John Leguizamo in it. who's been
Leguizamo,
in a lot of things.
Yeah, I didn't
playing
realize he
Bruno.
was in that too. Yeah, I realized that was
The
Bruno.
cast out family member. But apart from that, quite new face, except for Vilma Valderrama, who I haven't seen anything pretty much since that 70s show.
Who does he voice?
I think he's the dad.
Agustin. Okay.
He's the guy who keeps getting into accidents.
Right.
Right. And he's Faz in that 70s show.
Sure.
But, it's co-directed, among other people, by Jared Bush, who also did Zootopia.
Yeah.
Which is...
Which is a far superior film, in my humble opinion.
Sure. I mean, Zootopia was on my best of the year list back when we did it in private.
Yeah.
Still a fine movie. It looks good. Like I said, it's just a thing that I've been thinking about more, and I thought we
Fair.
might have discussed less. It hasn't been a great week for me, but there's so many things that have come out that you have now already mentioned, like West Side Story, Macbeth, and whatever.
But I just threw them away. If you
Right.
want to pick them, please do.
Dude, I don't know if I'll get to watch West Side Story. I'm not that interested, to be honest. But I do want to watch Macbeth.
Yeah.
which I might regret. But
No, I think you might enjoy
we'll
it.
see.
With Encanto, for me, the ending didn't work at all because it was so
Yeah.
predictable.
It was so rushed.
You said that before too, right? The ending didn't work for you.
Yeah.
Before I cut you off with the trailer. Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So the whole thing sort of leaves a sour taste in my mouth for that reason. That's what I think about when I think about Encanto. It's got some good songs, but overall, it didn't really work for me, and I wasn't really that emotionally involved in the film. But
Fair enough.
It looks beautiful. Good music in there, and yeah.
I gotta say, some of the side characters were more interesting than some of the main characters.
Yeah.
But we didn't get to explore that as much as I would have liked to.
Who was your favorite? Was it Bruno?
I really like the buff sister. I forgot her name.
Yeah.
And I think Louisa.
That might be right. Yeah.
I think her song is also one of the best. Also, like the depressive mom who's like got clouds around her.
Yes.
I thought she was a great character.
Yeah. I agree. The best song, I think it's either that or the very first one where she introduces everyone, like
Right.
family madrigal, right?
Family Madrigal, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, Bruno is a popular song I think,
Right.
from the soundtrack, which apparently they rewrote the name just to fit the song.
I mean, it's a good song. It's a good song. I can understand why they do that. Yeah.
Mark something.
Cuss.
Sure. Feel like a parrot.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
That's it, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I gotta lie down.
Okay.
What's going on?
Right. You want to do the outro?
Sure. Thank you so much for listening. I'm gonna
If you're still here.
my favorite part of this episode was the beginning.
What happened in the beginning?
When I was still awake and raving about Perfect Blue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for sticking around till the end. This has been another regular episode. Jesus Christ, I'm losing my train of thought.
It's
What
riveting,
the
though.
fuck is going on?
I love this.
Yeah, thank you. Is he going to fall asleep on the mic? Let's find out. It's just going to be an hour of silence. Check us out. We're available anywhere where you get your podcasts, be it Spotify, Google Podcast, YouTube, Google Podcast, etc.
I think you said Google Podcast. It's available twice on Google Podcasts, by the way.
Jesus Christ, I thought I said Apple.
I think you said Google. Maybe it's my bad.
Okay, no. I think I'm just broken. Check us out at Best Thing Radio and on Instagram and Instagram. On Twitter and Instagram, where Flo will post the thumbnail that he does for us every week. You can also see it as the thumbnail on YouTube. Consider drag up.
This is a whole new image
What
that
is
you're putting
going on?
out there.
I'm
Yeah, I
just
love it.
breaking down. I was
don't know what's going on.
fit. I was so fit when we started this.
Yeah. It's nice to see the effect I have on you.
Thank you. There's too many picks this week. They're racking my brain. Consider dropping a like for this train wreck.
I almost want to play a round of Last Man Standing. I don't want to, just because of your.
I gotta edit this tomorrow.
I know. That's why I'm saying we're not going to do it. But I'm just with your condition right now, it would be hilarious,
dude.
I'm not. I don't even want to do it. Yeah, no, we'll do it next week. We'll do it next week.
I would name the same movie over and over.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. You would forget the actor we're doing it.
Tune in for next week's maybe Last Man Standing. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been a blast as always. Watch something good and have a great 2022. Bye-bye.
It's a bold statement, yeah.
I'm so glad that I remembered the year.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.